hate to say it about Tesla, but every time Elon comes back to work, people end up bailing. I don't know if this is a coincidence, but Elon Musk obviously told us he was stepping back from Doge and government work, limiting his government work to 2 days, and then eventually departing government work almost entirely after a spat with Donald Trump. And now he's pretty much the purveyor of release the Epstein files and the party that's going to drive a wedge into the power of the Republican Party with the America Party. Well, with all of this, Elon is supposedly back at Tesla. And what people say is when Elon shows up again, people leave. I don't know if it's because of conflicts in personality or that, the people who are working at Tesla have a certain way of doing things, and then Elon comes and, kind of throws the office furniture around a little bit and people get frazzled and leave. So I'm not sure if this is just people paper handing or, if this is just a true frustration with, Elon coming back, or if it has nothing to do with it. But here we go again. Troy Jones, Vice President of Sales, Service, and Delivery at Tesla, has departed after 15 years at the company. This comes right after you lose the top AI executive leaving the company, your VP of Engineering, and the overseer of the development of the Optimus program leaving the company, as well as the Director of Human Resources leaving the company. Now, the Wall Street Journal is doing its classic, blame game on, well, sales are declining. On top of that, yes, you've got the ZEV credit problem. And at the same time, you've got Cathie Wood who's saying, hey, this is great. We've got a new base case and, what is it? It's going to be like $2,000 or something a share. And also, what you've got is, an expansion of robotaxi competition and partnerships with Uber in China to expand competition basically for Tesla, right? This just news. Uber teams up with China's Baidu on global taxi rollout. So mainstream media really bagging on Elon, very classic. How much of an impact it is versus on the actual business versus a symptom of Elon just being back? In my opinion, it's a sign of Elon just being back. When Elon comes back, he seems to clean house every single time. We've seen this for years with Tesla. Executive departures, I haven't noticed actually causing real damage at the company. This is Elon's ship, and everybody needs to remember that, which is also the part that depresses me. Now, I'll talk about that depression in just a moment. What doesn't depress me is the fact that MP material is now at $62, and in our alpha report this morning, we pitched at $52 in the pre-market that this sucker's going to 60. This is the momentum we need to go to 60. And it literally ran, over 18% since that call this morning. This all, if you were part of the alpha report, all of this was up for grabs. And we talked about that in the pre-market. You could watch the course member live stream. You could read the alpha report. The other one we talked about was Open Door this morning, which crushed it. So if you're not part of this yet, grab the membership over at mekevin.com. You pay once, you get lifetime access. That option won't be available for long. You could use coupon code Mr. Too Late because, we think it's pretty decent alpha. Also talked about the potential melting of Trade Desk after this 8541 line, and it is melting on the day. So this was not one that gave me enthusiasm. Also did not find enthusiasm in Tesla being able to really break out of 318 today. Instead focused on Open Door and MP Material, which are both absolutely crushing it. But anyway, this sort of Tesla meltdown. The thing is, this is an Elon company. And so what that means is you have to listen to Elon's vision. And unfortunately, the decisions of the executives or the other board members, they matter to some extent much less. The rest of the board wants a Model 2. Elon doesn't want a Model 2. Elon doesn't care about other models, and this makes me, unfortunately, disappointed about the potential for maybe getting that Mercedes Sprinter van style or a minivan or a Model 2 or whatever from Tesla, because Elon's focus is robotaxi. Now he's now going to have to compete. And I think Tesla investors know this, that it's not just going to be Tesla. Baidu's going to launch robotaxis. You're not really going to see those in the United States. That is a huge advantage Tesla has. Just like MP Material is an American play, Tesla is a play on American protectionism. The more tariffs we have, the higher consumer price inflation is likely to go, and the lower margins are likely to go broadly at different companies. But a beneficiary of tariffs generally is the American manufacturing industry, and that is what Tesla is. This article here, though, talking about Uber partnering with Baidu. Again, this is an outside of the United States risk, which really isn't a problem because Tesla's going to focus their robotaxi expansion on the US for now. But Baidu's autonomous vehicles will be available on the Uber app in Asia and the Middle East later this year, the company said in a statement released Tuesday. Thousands of vehicles will be deployed as part of the partnership. Future rollouts will also include Europe and Oceania. Shares of Uber rose as much as 1.4%. Baidu jumped as much as 7%. Baidu, which runs one of the largest fleets of robotaxis in China, is the latest Chinese autonomous driving technology company to partner with Uber to launch its services. Baidu's robotaxi service, Apollo Go, has provided more than 11 million public rides in more than a dozen cities globally, exceeding the 10 million rides by Google's Waymo as of May. So in other words, the Asian companies are once again taking over. Other Chinese firms like US-listed WeRide, Pony AI, and Momenta Technology have struck agreements with Uber to offer robotaxis on the platform in some European and Middle Eastern markets. San Francisco-based Uber has struck more than a dozen global partnerships with technology developers and automakers, including Waymo. Autonomous rides currently available via the Uber app are in Phoenix, Austin, and Atlanta. This is very interesting to me. And again, it says that the investment into Tesla is one of American manufacturing and American robotaxis. The more we hear about these partnerships, the more you're going to see these are going to be international. The expansion in the United States is probably going to be Tesla-centric and Google-centric, but Waymo. But Waymo has moved very, very slowly in the United States. So while this competition is heating up, it's heating up in a totally different space. And I really don't know how much to care about these executive departures because, again, if you're betting on Tesla, you're betting on Elon. In the short term, though, you might end up getting a little bit of pain when you get these departure notifications. So a little bit unfortunate. It probably doesn't help as well that we had some inflationary numbers on the core sides this morning. At the same time as autos were showing weakening sales, right? Because if you put that together, what you have is potentially weaker sales for cars, which isn't great for Tesla. On top of that, higher inflation. Remember, if you remove autos from the inflation numbers this morning, core goods rose at an annualized rate of 6.6%. That's a huge spike in inflation. And it means that autos, used and new, really tanked the inflation read this morning. Remember, you can always see my notes over on the Meet Kevin app. This is kind of what it looks like. You could change the theme if you don't like the green. You could customize your notifications for the videos. So that way, if you only want videos on geopolitics or economics or pilot videos or whatever, you can customize those notifications totally for free in the Meet Kevin app. You could also access your alpha report through the Meet Kevin app if you're a course member and you signed up over at meetkevin.com.
Why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.